back in the right studio, the rightmost studio. All right. So where we left off yesterday, we did not have a morning session. So if you're wondering where the hell my morning session went, it's called Some Dumbass Overslept. I overslept by an hour. So that means you and I got gypped of a morning painting session. So I'm surprised I didn't have a miserable freaking day, considering I didn't get to do my hobbying in the morning. But, you know, so it goes. So it goes. I'm going to, I got a bag here of baggies, and I'm going to go ahead and put these extra pieces. I'm going to subsort them. I don't want to just throw them all the way back in a bag. I thought this was a bag of baggies. This has some of them, but doesn't have all my little ones that people think it's like for me to pedal cocaine. They're just really small. It's this one. This is all the lots of bags in here. All right. So we need one for the fuel tanks, and we need one for the fuel boxes, and we need one for the trunks. And then we can put all this stuff in one larger one. Because I went ahead and did all this sorting anyway. So let's get rid of this balsa wood. It's going to come back here in a second anyways. And let's clear the work area. So we've got all these extra fuel drums that come with the myriad of T-34s that I had. And we'll just dump these here. All right, and then we got this one that has the fuel boxes. We'll put all these fuel boxes in here. That's if we need any of these, we know where to find them. We don't spend a month looking for them. I rounded up the nearest month. And then this one's got all the fake trunks. Hey, Marcus, didn't you say that you were not going to be available this morning? And that's good because there was no show this morning. Some dumbass overslept for an hour. And it's funny because I woke up at 6:09, so actually more than an hour before my alarm goes off. My alarm still went off, but I guess I turned it off and went back to bed, and nobody reminded me. And usually a wife's like, hey, your alarm's going off. Yeah, you were dog walking. Well, you didn't miss anything. I was thinking of you and didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. I don't know if I'm going to do a show tomorrow morning. I may just get up and go. I don't want to lollygag and then feel like I have to rush. I did manage that I saw part of the video of this event last year, and it's always a little, it looked a little lackluster. It looked a little, unprofessional. You always have this idea, oh, these are going to be the experts and they're going to do this. And I'm like, they look kind of lame. So, but we're still going to go. I mean, I got to go. I got to tell these people, all about the vehicle that they restored. Make sure they got the right color of olive drab and shit like that, Otherwise, these people get away with murder. All right. So I have a little bit of a problem that happened, other than the fact that I overslept. And a better scratch builder would have figured this out. It's not a big deal. It's just a little disappointing because I kind of have to backtrack a little bit. I don't have much time, and I was just looking at JP's YouTube on the Yuzhnaya Ozeraika landings. I did notice that he had a new video that dropped, but I didn't know what the subject matter was. I was very, very busy at work when I got that thing. João Peixoto. Is it a World War II thing? I'll watch it then. I mean, he does a lot of stuff like recently he's been doing like Napoleonics, and I'm like, that's a good way to bore me. I'd rather go with a wife and try on bras, have her try on clothes and stuff like that than listen to some Napoleonic video. 1943. I don't know anything about it. Is it one of those crossing the Dnieper things? Dnieper. So the problem I had is I built this piece of balsa wood, which it needs to have some kind of support. However, when you put this, and I'm going to put some kind of a dowel that's going to attach to the wheel. So the wheel needs to be in place like this, more or less. So I'm going to cut some of this, run a dowel. I've got some wooden dowels, and then attach it on here. It'll look pretty good. But when you put when you put these wheels back here, the truck's going to be pointing down like one of those El Caminos like they did in the early 80s or probably in the 70s, where they had them riding like this, so I'm like, well, damn, so what I need to have done is I still need to build this, but I need to put another level on top of it, and then the bed attaches to that. So I'm like, all right, in the morning I was like peeling this off, and this thing's all going to break to shit. So I'm going to try to remove it, and I'm going to have to rebuild what I did. Or maybe not that much. And I got another one to do, so luckily I didn't do them at the same time. But they wanted you just to attach it on here and put the wheels. That wouldn't have worked. That definitely would not have worked. That definitely would not have worked. You available tomorrow morning, or are you going to be dog walking? You're going to be dog walking before all the crazies wake up in the city. I remember the first time I went to New York, I'm like, I liked it in the daytime. At night, absolutely not. And I was technically in a safe part. Like, I was around Columbus Circle. I don't like people coming to me up at night and saying an effing word. Usually do the first walk between 5 and 6. Well, let's see. I need to leave. I may not do the show tomorrow. Definitely Sunday, but I may not do the show tomorrow. All right. I think this is fixable enough. So this is what we want to do. We want it at this height. So then when we put the wheels can butt up against this. Maybe not even. This is just a piece of shit. There's just no other way around it. This is a piece of shit. Pizza chip. Yeah, they're BP cast. Yeah, I paid money for them, unfortunately. So all of this stuff that you've seen, all the junk, the T70, I did an unboxing last September when I got it at the show. I got everything for like $20. I still think I came out okay. This Junk Panther, I mean, technically I didn't pay for that. That was just in there. You and your Junk Panther. So yeah, what I've got to do is I've got these dowels, which are a fair size. And I'm probably going to cut a notch where they go through here and attach the dowel. So, all right, couple things. Is this on? It's about to be. 'Cause I want the fan on. There we go. All right, let's get some air circulation in here. Yeah, they're more like BP miscast. And the guy actually that ran BP cast, he would show up on our shows and he would run games. And he just fell off the face of the earth. I don't know what happened to him. He'd always run games. There's a couple people that I'm friends with I'm still friends with them because they played at the game. You know, this is like 2005, 2006. Yeah, they're not very good, but they're better than anything I could do. But I don't claim to be a caster. You know, I don't know what the originals are. I have a feeling they were some kind of models, and he added things to them and then made castings of them. But that's just me guessing. But all his resin smells like mothballs. We're going to put this like this. So if we glue this in such a manner, and we put this like this, and we put this wheel here, it's going to be relatively straight across. See what I mean? Let's try doing that, and I'm going to try to do it with super glue because I don't want to mix all that shit up. I'm going to try it with super glue. Ah, the kaiju's back. What's up, Reese? I'm doing okay. How are you, man? You ready for the weekend? If you're not, too late. It's here. Unless you're somebody who has a weird schedule that has, that's off like on Mondays and Tuesdays and shit like that. I don't know if it's going to glue to this. That glued fine. Dude, this is actually gluing pretty well. What in the world? What you doing? We're putting these Soviet trucks together. What you doing? All right, so what I'm going to do is we'd like the wheel to be about there. In order to do that, I'm going to cut a notch in here. A notch that this dowel can fit in. I've never done this before. We're just winging it. Which means it's going to work. I may just not go about it the most efficient way I can. So when I do, I got another truck that's in the same boat, except the bed on it is cracked. So we'll have to fix that. Why does that happen? Yeah, I overslept and I was having a really freaking annoying dream. I almost always remember my dreams. Almost always. It's rare when I don't. The Hoffman! Oh, the Hoffman shows up and the kaiju has to leave. So this guy Reese, he's been coming in a couple times, and he tells me one time, he says, "Yeah, I got a strange name." And I guess he assumed about his last name, and I'm like, "No, that sounds like a kaiju, man. Like, look out. It's Raitan." You know. What's happening, Hoffman? You been writing up a storm? There was a thing that came up a couple days ago on Facebook or something like that, or something, and you know, having breakfast and it comes up, and the question that they asked in this group was, what is the profession that has little or no respect these days? And half of the people, or a good portion of the people, said president. Okay, well, fair enough. I'd throw any politician in there, but okay, fair enough. But then the other ones that got thrown around were teacher, journalist. Actually, there weren't that many journalists. Nobody said attorney. I'm surprised. Be on the lookout for a good movie. Ooh, what have I seen? Nothing. You didn't recommend me. You didn't recommend anything to me. You have good recommendations, so you figured out what I'll watch. How deep do we want this thing to be? Not much farther than that. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be playing videographer, and I'm going out to a place about two hours from here, or so, and they're doing a live World War II show with real vehicles moving and stuff like that, and a reenactment. I don't really care about the reenactments. Reenactments are always lame. You know, you got like people that are way 3 times more than the people would. You know, like me, like, you know. I mean, I'm not that big, but if I was in a World War II reenactment, I have to play Goering. I mean, you know, everybody else is like the wrong size, you know. Food delivery drivers are the untouchables of our time. Really? Did I ever watch Das Boot? I've seen it twice. I have not seen it a long time ago. The thing I don't like about Das Boot is I don't really like Jürgen Prochnow. I don't. Uh, Sorry, I can't like everybody. Um, but I didn't dislike it. It's better than that one with Tom Hanks where he plays the destroyer captain, Greyhound. And the German sub captain is talking through the through the through the through the through the sonar, and they can hear it. Like, it's like, come on, man, stop with your bullshit. I was supposed to go to the Pacific War Museum here in Texas tomorrow, but your friend bailed. Go without him. You don't need a friend for that. He just asks stupid questions. Then you're not you're not a Tom Hanks fan. His face gets on my nerves. Um, really, I think his voice. I don't dislike him at all, but I think his voice is more annoying than his face. Your face gets on my nerves. Boy, your face gets on my nerves. So here's what we're going to do. If I put this in the center here, it's too low. So we're just going to use this as a way of attaching this, but it's not going to be in the center, and I think it'll be okay. Just a way to get this out there. There are people that I can't stand their face. Sorry. But he's not one of them. Yeah, his voice. Where the hell is he from? He has this voice like he's from upstate New York or something. But he doesn't really annoy me. What really annoys me is people who are like, they don't want anybody to have guns, but then they get movies where having guns all the time. I'm like, come on, man. You're making people want to have guns by making, gun movies. You know, Liam Neeson for one. Like, I don't know, has he been in a movie where he doesn't have guns? I will find you and I will kill you. Okay, this super glue is gluing pretty quick, which of course means I'm going to run out of it. Now, the back of this, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to work because this casting is just piss poor. Yeah, they do make guns look cool and then they complain about it. Yeah, well, I mean, they're not a. I'm not saying you should solve everything with guns, but there's some situations that your ass wouldn't have been in trouble if you would have had a firearm. You know what I'm saying? That movie that I ended up watching with my daughter, that Kurt Russell movie called Breakdown. If you would have had a pistol, it'd be a much shorter movie. It'd be a much shorter movie. What'd you do with my wife? I've never seen you before. They couldn't do. Yeah, you follow that fucker. You follow that fucker home, and you start unloading things in his kneecaps. He'll talk. And hey, he had to do that because the cops wouldn't help him. You know, this truck is screaming to be a wreck. This one, the problem is a truck wreck. I might as well just make it out of aluminum foil. It's a pizza chip, isn't it? Well, if this thing is a wreck, this one's a shit show. So you're saying I shouldn't use one of my miracles on this thing, huh? Not at all. I don't know if you, I know some of you guys really aren't model builders, but the most challenging models to build at one time were these things called vacuum cast. And literally it was a a formed piece of plastic all in one sheet that you had to cut out and somehow put together. And I looked at that as, and this isn't going to glue. That you are not gluing, are you? You, you wanaho. Okay. Then we're going to set these off to the side, and we're going to bring in the big guns, epoxy, and straighten your ass out. Now, this is a GAZ truck, and it is significantly longer than the Plastic Soldier Company GAZs. No, you're going in the right direction. The main body's too pristine to be a wreck. I don't know. Have you seen this thing? Let's get a GAZ truck out here. We need a single axle one, though. There we go. These are cute in a, I like to watch the Waltons kind of way. I don't know if it's supposed to be the same Gaz truck, but it's got a longer bed. I never watched that show, but I remember as a kid, like, why would anybody watch that crap? I saw someone building a late World War II plane model that was a mixture of regular sprues and 3D printed pieces. Well, you certainly there are certainly some people that make enhanced 3D pieces for kits, definitely. Um, this may not work what I'm trying to do, but we'll find out. The sound of balsa sticking. If I had basswood, I would have used basswood instead. Balsa is just like styrofoam of wood. We'll try taking our time here and see how it goes. Well, that's not supposed to happen. All right, what kind of wreck you want this thing to be? Got to walk a couple dogs. We'll check you out if you're on, okay? No, they're resin, but here's the instructions. And in order for them, what they want you to do is they want you to take this and glue this here, and then take the back wheels that have nothing on the bottom. There's nothing, and just glue them like this, just suspended like in disbelief. Like that's not going to work. It's going to, you got to have something down there. You got to have some kind of an undercarriage. So I'm building one on a balsa wood. And then when I built it the way they told me to, it was the wrong height. It'd be riding like this. I'm building models that should never have been created. And they're not good quality. now, this dowel can fit in here, ish. Yeah, I don't know. This is a vendor that actually came to our shows and when our convention was in Tampa, and he disappeared. He's been gone for shit, probably going on 20 years. And he used to put on games like at the last session. And he used his own rules, which all he did was grab things from one rule set and grab something else from a different rule set. But anyways, he provided all the terrain and the games looked pretty good. And he also was a vendor. And I need to make this a little bit bigger. But he disappeared off the face of the earth. He never went to a single show as a vendor when the convention moved to Orlando, because it was in Tampa twice a year. And then the place where we were holding the convention at, basically they sold it or something like that. And the place stayed, they leveled the building. It's right off of Bush Boulevard and I-275 in Tampa. This really rough part of town where, there'd be horrors and stuff outside, and, not the kinds you want to spend your money on. The one you could, get gingivitis from just by looking at him. Was he old? Nah, he was probably the age I am now. So no, not old. But I don't know if he had personal issues or something like that. I don't know. But he had this company, BP Cast, and they made quite a few things. I have a feeling, I don't want to incriminate him or anything, but I have a feeling that he took models and he built models and then made a mold of them and then sold them. Because he was a model builder, and he had this big binder of photos that he would take. Yeah, remember those things? Photos, in real, ancient. And yeah, that one we could put on the center. I don't want to make this too, just a little bit wider than that. And he just disappeared off the earth. And you can still see some people peddling these on eBay. I mean, yeah, they're not very good. Certainly not by today's standards. They just have a lot of potholes in them and stuff. You can fill those in, but you'd be filling all day long. That's what you'd be doing. So this thing I'm going to tomorrow, yeah, I'd take my daughter if she was around, but she's not around, so it'll just be me, myself, and I. That'll be good. I can flirt with all the hot girls that'll be there. I'm going to see a lot of people that think they know a lot about tanks. But there's an author that I have several of his books on Audible that's going to be there, and that's James Holland. And he's going to do a seminar or something like that. So, what's held for review? Have fun with them hot girls. Yeah, I'm not in the market for any of them, so. Even if there were, I'm not I don't know how to behave. I'm not one of those people. I had this old guy I used to work with, and I'm glad he's gone. And he's like, "Oh yeah, come over and have a drink with us." And I'm like, "All right, well, I've never really drank how to drink with anybody at work, but okay, I'll go there." And he goes to some seedy pool hall place. It's not really that seedy. It's just just a pool hall place. And he's like a married dude that's probably close to 70. And he was paying this waitress $20 to have her see her boobs. I'm like, where am I? What planet is this, What a strange person. That doesn't happen in my world. Okay, I think we're going to epoxy these in the back. I got to use epoxy. Oh, you know what I could use? I don't have to use epoxy. I actually, yes, thank you. This is what we're going to do. I should use this for, I'm going to use my hot glue gun. I'm going to use my hot glue gun. My Gorilla Glue Gun. Mr. Ben, you like that story? Do you? Stuff I would never do. I have a pretty high honor code. Even if I was single. Let's fire this bitch up. Now, if you ever get a hot glue gun, make sure you get one that has a low and a high. And never turn it to high, because it's not needed. It's totally not needed. Ben and I are having this little competition of who has the worst models, me or him. This is just a piece of trash. Did you ever get that armored car fully put together? Or is it still the eyesore from Mysore? Also, don't put it in your pants gangsta style. You got gangsters? You got gangsters in the UK? Come on, man. What's the UK equivalent of Baltimore? Hell no, that thing will test me. Yeah. It makes you wonder how some things can be made so poorly that it wouldn't kill a company. It's on, but it's not warming yet. We'll turn it up to high for now. Get it fired up there. Ours run around with ninja knives, and our Baltimore is maybe Birmingham. What do they call those people? Brummies? Something like that. So Birmingham's a shit show, huh? There we go. Now it's starting to come out. That's what she said. Now we're going to put a big old splooge. Hey, we get to make up our own words in the English language here. I'm sorry, the American language. Coño, ya se congeló. Holy shit, it dried up too fast. Okay, well. Ninja knives. Hoffman, you don't live in a big city, do you? Or do you live like in the Houston area? We had an overnight stay in Houston when we went to Mexico a couple of years ago. Went to a rooftop bar in Houston. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool place. Hi. This actually works pretty good. Well, other than this, it's aesthetically unpleasing. Now I think what I could do is you hold it in place with hot glue gun, and then you mix up some epoxy, and then you epoxy it into place. Not my first rodeo. I've been a rodeo clown for a while. I think that'll work. San Antonio. So here's the thing I didn't know about San Antonio. San Antonio is like one of like number 10 most populous city in the U.S. I'm like, really? I mean, I knew Houston's big, but San Antonio? It's getting pretty shitty, but nowhere near as shitty as Houston. Houston has nice places, but I also think it's one of the more dangerous cities here in Texas. We almost lived in Sugarland. Dad took a job in Gainesville instead of Sugarland. That was his two choices. Texas still has the best flag of the states. I like that little Texas flag. How'd we do? I think we did all right. I think we did all right. So I was mentioning this the other day. I don't know if anybody was actually listening to when I was mentioning it. There's a guy that my wife watches that, what do you mean by that? He does YouTube videos. And he does Cuban cooking things. His name's Chef Brad. And he's very animated. And he's really, really funny. And, but his videos are like extremely heavy edited. I'm like, man, I should do videos in that style about how to paint, panzers or something like that. And I may do that. Obviously he's a lot more talented than I am. Well, not about painting. He can't paint worth a shit. But I can't cook worth a fuck. So, But if you want to see something entertaining, watch him. I think he's on YouTube. Chef Brad. You want to see something strange? He's a redheaded Cuban. Like, really? A ginger Cuban. Ginger cumin. Bam! That's how it's done. And it still looks like melted ass. Okay? But I think it'll work. It might just pull through. I think it'll work. And it is a lot bigger than this GAZ truck. Maybe it's a different GAZ model. I don't know. But I got 6 of these, so I don't mind having different ones. I'm going to have to take a screenshot of when I took these out of the package. Because whatever I end up doing with these, they're going to actually look okay. I'm pretty confident in my ability to, make things look all right. Not everything, but there's some things that I can make work. Okay, and that little piece of super glue, that I need to super glue that back because that fender broke. This is the bad resin. It's stinky. It's brittle as hell. Man, you just don't want to come out. Let's use this one. Oh, this is super thin. It's like angel's tears. What's the thing I said? The patience of the saint and the touch of an angel. Some of these things. There we go. I think it'll look okay. And I like the fact that it's like, bam, it's glued. Like, I'd rather it like be glued too fast than not. I don't know why. I'm glad I thought about that. All right. Well, let's get stupid. Let's do something stupid. Let's glue this 234-85 with hot glue. I mean, fuck it. What could happen? What could go wrong? It's gap filling, right? I should have been doing this all along. Let's fire this up to high heat so I have a little bit more working time with it. Sometimes you just got to think outside the box. And I'm telling you, as I've gotten other tools, you know, knives and things like that, years of experience dealing with solving all kinds of stupid problems at work, this is like child's play. Constantly putting out fires at work. This is just like piece of cake. I got this. A melted asshole. That's what this looks like. And then, you know, if you don't like how it glued, you just take it off. Peel this shit off. Rinse and repeat. And then here's the turret. What happens if a hot glue gun this freaking barrel in? I'll tell you what happens. It fucking dries immediately. Tankograd just like quadrupled production values here. All right. Well, this has a cracked deck here. Don't talk about my deck. And we can probably fill that with something. Let's see, have a really thin piece of something to put over that. You know, I can assemble this first and then worry about that. So how did we build this? All right, we had two pieces lying side by side. And, oh, this one is basswood. Well, it's too late. We used balsa on everything. You showed up late to the party, pal. Well, the algorithm is for real because I've gotten almost 100 subscribers in less than a month. Just by shooting. And it's annoying because I'm shooting it in a crappy way. Like, I don't want to do these vertical videos because I got to do them on my phone and they're at 720p, not 1080, but that's what gets exposure. Now, one of the things I'm the worst at is filling holes. I haven't mastered that Vallejo putty at all. I think it's really cool. I haven't mastered that. All right, so this one is going to have these two pieces attached next to each other to build a framework. And that's going to run across the bottom of this. Okay, so what we want to do is I'm going to build it as close to this as we can because I did something right. And you know, if this needs trimming, now that it's glued together, I can just trim it on this thing here. So I'm going to glue these two pieces side to side, edge to edge, and not burn myself in the process. So I think what I'm going to do is, and I'm out of that super glue. Let's see if I got a spare one. The super glue actually worked fine for that. This is the slower one. That may be all I have. And I got another unopened one of the thin. Let's try using the slow one. Just to put these two pieces side by side. And instead of using a smear, I'm going to do little dots. There's a guy that made a video recently that I'm like, well, that's kind of unique. Just putting little dots on it, I would have never thought about doing that. Okay, now once that's there, then we can come in and glue this down. And I'm going to use a hot glue gun for this. Something like that. All right, now we're going to take another piece and want to make this up a little higher because that's how the height will work. Okay, man, these things are a lot sharper than the other blades. Okay. And we'll hot glue this thing down. And now we'll attach this to this. And we'll attach this with hot glue. I'm glad I remembered I had this. I mean, I got it relatively recent. It's not one of my older tools. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just take a little piece of plastic at some point and we're going to glue that there. Not that you can't have a deck that's broken like that. I mean, these have been through hell. Let's see if we can dribble a little bit of this down and seal this thing shut on this break. Hold that together for a little bit. Good. This one go in the garbage can because it's over. All right. Now, I'm going to try to put the axle pretty close to where this one is. This is why you don't do multiple vehicles at the same time. You might have figured out like a way to get things to go better, but you're not going to figure that out on the first one. So if you do them all at the same time, you're going to make the same mistake. It's okay to have happy little accidents. Just don't shit your pants. Oh, that broke off. That's unfortunate. We'll glue it on afterwards. So that's what I thought about the other day. You know, I'm probably going to be a little butterfly and switch from theater to theater. I'm not going to switch scales though, and we're not going to not do World War II. Although I do have a boat that I need to do for next model meeting. Well, the next one's Russia. We got lots of Russia stuff now done. The one after that is ships. So I'm going to build a little boat, a little toy boat that I'm repainting for my African imaginations that I'm probably never going to get to, but it's better than like, you know, building a battleship or something like that that we're never going to use for anything else. This is actually, these wheels look like the top of an acorn. Look how they're hollowed. Where's the fucking camera? There we go. They're hollowed like self-rising crust pizza or something. You got that stuff in Britain? Self-rising crust pizza? By the way, I only had lemon curd once, and I was expecting it to be better. Maybe I just didn't have a good lemon curd. thought there was some cafe left. If I did more of this stuff, I probably need to invest in a small saw. And they make them that, you know, attach to a pen. It doesn't have to be something that has a whole lot of horsepower. Hoffman, you say your girlfriend's from the Philippines? I think you said she was from the Philippines. I still haven't given up on doing Philippines in 44, 45 at some point. I think that's the campaign I would do in the Pacific. I'd do the Philippines. The reconquer of the Philippines. Because the Philippines actually has, you know, some decent sized land masses. It's not like you got this tiny little island where you can like get shore bombardment from like every corner. There's like nowhere to hide. Las Filipinas. Check this shit out. Not bad on my first attempt to fix a garbage thing. I just gotta find out what kind of gas trucks these are. It says they're double A's. Gas truck. This is what they want you to do. Here's the instructions. A cab, open bed, and just put the wheels on it, even though they don't have any axles or anything. Like, come on, man. We got one more. This one's got a closed bed. This one actually has some, like, wheel wells for the tires and stuff to go. I'm actually floored how quickly this glues. I'm really, really floored. All right, let's get the other wheels that come with this. I hope I have enough. If not, I will have to make this one a wreck. Here's another front one. And we need a set of double rears. That's not it. This goes to the, well, maybe it was. Or maybe not. I don't know what it goes to. I don't see them here. You go grab my grab bag from the garage. I'll be right back. All right. Now, I wouldn't recommend using hot glue gun to glue some of these things together, but these things are so shitty that I'm not ruining any detail by using hot glue gun, by using a hot glue gun. So that one's ready to be primed. That one's ready to be primed. That's ready to be primed. This one, we need some back wheels. I'm hoping that I have them here somewhere. If not, I got this free, so paint these up and then show them to the guy that gave him 3. Hey, look what I did with the garbage you gave me. I'm telling you, that's empowering. Let's see what we got in here. Let's take a good look in here. Let's take a good look again. This is a Sherman from Armor Fast. It's actually okay. It's all right. We're going to be able to salvage that. Here's a Panther that we're going to turn to a wreck. We're not doing it until we've built the other one. Lots of Sherman tracks in here. What piece is this? This is a road wheel that goes on a on this Panther. This Panther is probably the saddest shape of a vehicle I've ever seen. Prime wrong, the turret won't turn. There's a commander that's stuck in there. There's no hatch. The hatch for it is not there. It's on some other port. You know, it's got tools that are wrong places. It is a veritable shit show. But we're going to use this as a wreck. Obviously, we're going to pull this dork out of here. Yeah, here's the road wheel that is just loose. I guess it goes in one of these things. This is going to be a knocked out tank on the side of the road. So is this other one. So is this other Panther. This one was in much better shape than the other one. But still, no barrel. Okay, here's the turret to the Armor Fast Sherman. Here's a Panzer II from Matchbox. Pretty sure it's a Matchbox. No barrel. This one is the King Kong. All destroyed. Okay, here these are the wheels that go on this thing. And this one's all busted to shit, the outer one. So we'll probably have to put, like it's traveling through snow, and we got some snow. It's taking some snow along with it. This one is the one for the long tom. Okay. So we got those two wheels. This is another Sherman. Looks like it's exploded. An Elephant that's seen better days. I tried to strip the paint off of it. None of this is my doing. I got this literally of, hey, here's the stuff that I'm throwing away. You want it? Like, yeah, I'll mess with it. This is a mortar carrier. I should put this together while I got the hot glue guy out. I've got two other mortar carriers, but you know what? I'll build this one and do it in snow. We'll use it for bulge. Illustrious instructions. All right, let's finish this gas nightmare first. Should be the same proportion, more or less. But they had glued these tires too far back. Let me put these, if I put this across this, that'll help. And then this one's going to go up front. So I'm actually going to move the wheels so it's the same on all of them. I'm going to move them to here. Just a little forward. And these fit pretty even there. And I don't really know what the deal is on this model because I don't know if it's like an enhanced model or something. Because this one in particular has a step in the bottom here that the other ones don't have. The other ones are just flush across the bottom. And then this one, I know it's going to look all like weird and shit, but we're going to end up covering this thing with like a bunch of snow goop. This one's going to be on a stand. This is some kind of, well, I'll tell you what, if I got to put so much goop on here to cover this tire, covering this to look like it's not all messed up, probably it'll be a piece of cake. So we're going to leave this as is. So we got 1, 2, 3 of these trucks and the T-34-85. All right, now we got this mortar carrier. Even though it's American, and what's this? This is a spare 57 millimeter. I think it was missing something. It's like missing a trunnion or something. And these thicker knives work a hell of a lot better than the thin one. It's like chisel. There's all these little like bubbles. Almost look like jellyfish. Barnacles. Barnacles and bullet holes. What kind of can that's supposed to be? That's 15 mil. This loose? Yeah, it's loose. Like, why is that so loose? This is a no-name brand one. Maybe I shouldn't be using that one. I don't even know where that one came from. You say the one I had was a Pro Edge. There it is. Pro Edge, made in the USA. We don't want that thing coming off on us when we're not expecting it. Fit like so. And the other side, same thing. not going to put it all the way up against it. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap. Mind the gap. A splooge there and a splooge there. Splooge there and one there. Actually, a lot of uses for this thing. If I had to build a raffle model, hell, I'd probably use the hot glue gun. How's everybody doing tonight? Or in the morning? Hell, it could be tomorrow morning, as far as I know, where people are watching from. This actually comes with a mortar crew. They're a bit generic, but the driver figure, .50 caliber MG. How do you figure? I don't see one on there. Well, for starters, this 81 millimeter mortar needs to have a hole put in it. Put a little divot here in the center, and we're going to get with our Now, M4 motor carriage. Let's take a look at to make sure that we've got the right sighting device on the correct side. Oh, I can't see it. Show me a picture, show me a picture, show me a picture, show me a picture. This is a 50 like in the middle. Get the sighting things on the right. I think it's on the right. That's I decided I was going to do anyways. This barrel tube is not long enough. I'm going to go ahead and hot glue gun this pretty close to the end. That's how we need to. That's how it needs to go in. Okay, that didn't look bad. That didn't look bad. And the mortar man's in there. I don't know how the hell he's supposed to be in there, but. All right, so we're going to remove the mortar because we're going to. Makes it a hell of a lot easier to paint. So this thing is ready to get primed, and so's that. What else we got? Let me look at my 234 bit. I shouldn't have anything else left in it. That's loud. do have another hole for a T34. This one, the T34-85. Man, I'm running out of vehicles. I done run out of vehicles. Well, we still have a couple of M10 tank destroyers to put together. All right, well, that's where we're going to stop. We're not going to prime them tonight, but we're going to take a little container that we move things to and from the garage. And we're going to put the water carrier in there. Gas trucks, T34-85, which is, that was a junky one. All right, so this stuff we're all going to prime probably on Sunday. And all these T34s are going to be, they're all going to be winterized. Take the hot glue gun, unplug it. Safety first, folks. And actually, we have this mount, this quad Maxim machine gun mount for one of the trucks. That is a 4-pack of Maxim machine guns that the Soviets used for anti-aircraft. And it'd sit on a base. Like so. Ammo stuff. There's some dorky looking crew members. Ugh. But that's going to be it for tonight. That's going to be it. We put this stuff together, and that's as far as we're going to go. We got to get up early. Like I said, probably not going to have a morning session. Get out of the house relatively early, get on the road, and go look at some one-to-one scale tanks. So stay tuned for that video, folks. All right, folks, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.